Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric, and I am here today for my October 2019 favorites video. So if that's something you're interested in, keep on watching. As always, I'm going to start off with 5 kind of food nutrition related items, and then I will end with 5 non-food nutrition related items. So first up, we have pork rinds. And I have talked about pork rinds before. These are the Max pork rinds. They are my favorite, one of my favorite brands. And these are the salt and pepper flavor. These are kind of, I think, a newer one. Standard pork rinds, adds 80 calories for half an ounce. And I really like them. I'm pretty particular about pepper, but they're not overly peppery, and there's just like a really good flavor to them. They're a little bit more flavorful than the original, but if you find the barbecue or the spicy to have too much flavor, or you don't like all of the extra ingredients, I think these are a good option. I got them at Walmart. Next, we have an item I got at Costco, and I don't know if I've talked about these before, but this is the 3 Bridges egg bites, and this is in cheese and uncured bacon. There are 2 egg bites in each one. You can see each one is a little smaller than like my palm. And for one package, so for 2 bites, it is 310 calories, 25 fat, 2 carb, less than 1 fiber, so 2 net carbs, and 20 grams of protein. So pretty high. This is a great keto option, high fat, decent protein, really low carb, and they're really tasty. They're really good. They're kind of like the sous vide egg bite type deal. And I generally I get them at Costco. They come in 4, so there's 4 of these. Obviously like a little bit pricey for how much you're getting, but they're great for on the go, last minute meal prep kind of things. So I usually just keep them in my freezer. And then for days or weeks where I don't have meal prepped or I need a last minute meal, I just grab those. So for example, coming back from my various trips this past month, it's been really nice to have basically a meal that's ready to go that takes no effort. I just take it out, put it in the microwave. So that's been really nice. Next is a item from Trader Joe's, and it is these Trader Joe's Sharp Cheddar Cheese Snack Pack. So it's like a little package that comes with a lot of, individually wrapped cheese snacks. One of these is like a little bit less than an ounce, and per pack it is 80 calories, 7 fat, less than 1 carb, and 5 protein. So pretty standard cheese stats, and I just really like these. Again, on the go, great for snacks, great for just throwing in my little lunch bag for work. I usually eat those with like some turkey, maybe some carrots. Sometimes I'll have those if I'm really snacky or hungry in the evenings and I need something kind of savory. That's like a good pre-packaged amount for me to just nibble on. Next, we have an item from GNC. I'm kind of spreading the love clearly this month, and it is the GNC Lean Bars. This particular one is a limited edition newer flavor in Fruity Crisp. Now, the bars are all slightly different calories, but for this particular one, it's 190 calories, 6 fat, 22 carb, 6 fiber, 11 sugar, so that is 16 net carbs, 15 protein. So this is definitely not a low carb or keto bar, but it is a very tasty bar. It's kind of like a granola bar type texture. It's one of the tastier bars in my opinion, and the stats I think are good. I like that it's lower, it's less than 200 calories. It's hard to find protein bars in that range. And that Fruity Pebbles flavor is really good. And then the last food item is actually a recipe, and it is for creamy chicken and wild rice soup. October is totally the beginning of soup weather, in my opinion, and this is so good. It's a homemade soup. It is, protein because it's got chicken. It's moderate carb. There are vegetables, and you have some wild rice in there. It's not a ton. When I made the recipe that I'll link below, I believe I got 12, maybe 10 servings out of it. So, spread out. The stats in my opinion are totally reasonable, and it's kind of just a slightly lighter version of a nice creamy chicken soup. It was so good, so flavorful, and just like the perfect fall soup in my opinion. It's definitely something that I think the whole family would enjoy. So highly recommend that one. Next, we will talk about non-food related items. So The first is this water bottle. It is a Life Straw water bottle. So this is a water bottle I took with me when I went to Peru. And if you can tell here, it has got like this little filtration device. It actually has a double filtration. So this is what you can use. You can put any kind of water in it. You can fill it up from a stream, from the bathroom tap, from whatever, and it will filter out any of the bad things you don't want to be drinking that'll make you sick. So it's great to have one of those if you are traveling, particularly if you're traveling to a country with non-potable drinking water, or that's redundant, but non-potable water, because I personally want to try to eliminate or reduce the amount of waste that I produce. And so I tried not to over purchase water bottles. One, saving me money, but two, it's reducing the amount of waste produced by these water bottles. And so having a water bottle that I can take with me that's refillable and that I can use to drink any kind of water I want was really great. So I really liked it. It was worked well, so I'd highly recommend. Next, we have another little traveling thing, which is this little Coach travel jewelry box. So I got this from the Coach outlet store. And so it's this little thing, and you can see here, and it's a mess right now because I still have my jewelry in it. But you can put in, you know, there's a place for rings, and then there's a few different compartments. This is just something from what I got in Peru. And you can put your jewelry in it, and then it kind of is nice and compact. And then I generally always put this in my carry-on, so it's always with me. But it was a really nice, simple, easy way to carry my jewelry with me, to keep it kind of organized, and it looks really nice. So I liked that. Next, we have a pair of shoes. And so these are some wool Allbirds. I don't know if you guys have heard of Allbirds. They're sort of all the rage lately. And these are just they have, I think, like bamboo and wool. And I just got sort of the slate gray color so that they kind of go with everything. And they are super, super comfortable. They just, you can wear them with or without socks. They are both warm and cool. So like I wore them in both hot weather and cold weather, and they work great. I walked around all over Peru in these, and they were super comfortable. So I really liked these shoes a lot. They were a little bit pricey, but I can definitely see how I'm going to get my my use out of them. And I for sure plan to buy more at some point. So really great shoes. And then, of course, another travel item. Lots of travel-y items because that was what I was doing for most of October. But this is the backpack purse that I brought with me. So it's kind of, you know, it looks like a little travel-y backpack. It's got one strap, so you can kind of, okay, let's see if I can do this. You know, sling it over you, but you could also just use it like over one shoulder, kind of like just a regular purse. It has little water bottle things on each side, which is really nice. So, because this water bottle actually fits in here. An umbrella would fit in here, or another second water bottle, because sometimes I would have two, or just trash. And then it has this little thing. So there's like this little pocket right here where you can put stuff, and then there's a bigger pocket in here. And I just really thought this was super convenient. It was a great size. The sling over my shoulder was really nice to distribute the weight when I kind of had it full of stuff for a day out and about. Like I said, I traveled with this, so I was traveling, you know, all over Peru, and it worked out great. I really liked it. It was nice and convenient. So if you're looking for a travel purse, I thought that one worked well. And the last item is a non-physical item, but it is something called the Daily Skim. And I'll go ahead and leave a link below. What it is every weekday, you get an email in your inbox that kind of gives you a quick roundup of what is happening in the world. They kind of collect news stories, both within the United States and internationally. And it's just a really great way to kind of stay abreast of current events if you don't have a lot of time to dedicate to looking at the news. And so, again, I found this particularly helpful. I've been a member for years, but sometimes I ignore the emails because I'm paying attention to the news in other ways. But when I was in Peru, I was definitely very disconnected. I wasn't really reading much much of my normal kind of sites. And so it was really nice every morning when I was on Wi-Fi to get these emails, and then I would just, skim through them. That's hence the daily skim, and get an idea of what was happening outside in the world beyond just my narrow travel scope. So I really like it. I go through phases where like I said, I've been a member for years. I go through phases where I really read it religiously, and then I go through phases where I don't really need it because I am engaging with the current events and the news elsewhere in the world. But I always find it, I'm always glad to have it around. And I do find it is really helpful for just kind of like staying aware of things. And I really appreciate that they have news stories from all over the world. So like when I was in Peru and they had, there was some issues with some political issues happening in Peru while I was there. And I actually found out about them because the Daily Skim had talked about it. It had talked about, like, that was kind of their feature for the day, was Peru and what was happening there. And I was like, oh, that's really great, because I'd heard people talking about it, but I hadn't really made the connection. So yeah, I really think it's a great resource and really enjoyable. And they're really funny in the way that they communicate, and they do a really good job of kind of condensing complex and big issues into like very digestible little blurbs. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this month's favorites video. I do, like I say, I've said before, I really do enjoy making these and thinking about kind of my current favorites. And yeah, I am always interested in hearing what your guys' favorites are. So if you're making these videos, let me know. And if you aren't making videos but just want to tell me what you're loving, leave it in a comment down below. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not already. And I will talk to you all in a video very soon. Bye.